Alex Pereira humiliated Magomed Ankalaev in their rematch, and after this dominant performance, the MMA community reacted with intense praise for Alex Pereira. Check out the reactions of several fighters, as well as the predictions of many who predicted a loss for the Brazilian. John Jones reacts to the fight simply tweeting, "Wow, Alex." Dylan Dennis says, "Told y'all." Wejas Chama. Dylan would follow up with, "For that Dagestani rat." Aljamain Sterling simply says, "Chama?" Justin Gaethje reacts with Alex Pereira, straight inspirational. Came back and reclaimed not once but 2 times. Beast. Max Holloway simply tweets, "Damn." Ariel Helani says, "Alex Pereira first round TKO. Chama." The MMA guru says Thomas Spinal must fulfill his side of the deal and finish Cyril Gane at UFC 321. And once he does, we need Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira for the undisputed heavyweight world championship live on pay-per-view at the White House in June 2026. Be there for the fight of the era. He also tweeted, "Alex Pereira walks down and destroys that Inbr battle gnome in round 1. Walked Ankalaev down like a victim. Nasty first round finish from Alex. Chama." I guess he really was injured for the first fight. That was the gamble. Henry Cejudo tweets, "Poatan is back on top of the world." Cejudo would also say, "This victory puts Alex Pereira in the top 5 UFC fighters of all time." Terence McKenna reacts with nasty straight right hand. Chama is back. Sheesh, that's how you get the belt back. Moyano says, "The best Brazilian fighter to ever exist." Kamar Usman tweets, "Geez, Pereira came to thump." Peter Yan reacted with, "That was a reminder that rematches can look very different from the first fight." Matt Brown says, "Alex looked indestructible, and Collier took that away. Now he looks indestructible again."
I have Ankalaev as well. I think stylistically he's just the antithesis to Alex. So I have Ankalaev as well. The more that I look into this fight, the more that I try to pave a path of victory for Pereira in my head. How does he beat Ankalaev? The less certain I am of him being able to do it. So, yeah, you're exactly right. Styles make fights. I think, like, Ankalaev has the skill set to beat Pereira.
Pereira predominantly goes back and forward a lot. He's very tall for the weight, puts his weight in his back foot. And from the southpaw stance, what he's doing, he's coming off centre and then in, which is what you should do against someone who has that ploddy, I wouldn't say it's ploddy kind of, but that forward motion kind of slow footwork like Pereira's got. Because you don't want to be on that centre line with this man. Like, if this guy hits you, that's it. So I think he's definitely got a chance. I do think he's definitely got a chance, and I think he might be able to do it. But if you're asking me, if I was going to put money on it, I would go Ankalaev.
At the time, I don't know what changed, but I always see this guy. He's traveling everywhere. He's on more planes than anybody else. I don't know if this time he kind of stayed back in Connecticut and trained more. Was more focused for this fight. That might make a big difference as well. But I'm gonna go Ankalaev. I think that's the safe bet in this one. Yeah.
Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira. Who wins that fight? I'm going to say I'm leaning towards Magomed. Again, we saw it once, we might see it twice, but we're going to see a different version of Pereira this time. He has to bring a different version, simple as that.
I thought that Ankalaev has more ways to win, and I thought that even like the first time they fought was during Ramadan, and to me, he actually looked a little slower.
Yeah.
Compared to when he fought Alexander Rakic.
Yeah.
To me, he looked a little slower. And I'm thinking that if he can pick up his volume a little more, and use his movement a little more, shoot more, and then he punches a little faster. I'm actually thinking that he actually beats Paul time.
I will have to say, I just think because Ankalaev is a safe fight. I felt like he took a few risks in that last fight, which surprised me, and he's still come off with the win. I don't think he can do that again. If that same Ankalaev turns up, even though he looked great, I think the adjustments Pereira would make, he might be able to catch him. I feel like Ankalaev's going to play that little bit more safe and maybe get the win, maybe get the decision win. I'm just going to lean towards that. Obviously, he's coming off a win. He was able to give him problems, and now he's probably going to push for the wrestling a little bit more. I think I'm going to have to lean towards Ankalaev for that.
Well, who wins? Man, it's hard to go up against Unk time. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like this is a different Pereira, bro. I'm kind of swinging Pereira, but I'm gonna put it with Ankalaev, man. I think Pereira did not do as crazy traveling as we've been seeing him, so he's gonna be home a little bit more. So, but I'm gonna go with Unk time.
Ankalaev better make sure his legs are ready, because in the first fight, Pereira almost broke his legs, but then he started, avoiding them, checking them better. But Pereira will try that again, try to take away Ankalaev's lead leg, which is what he was starting to do and doing in their first fight, but Ankalaev was able to sustain himself. He was able to survive it, get around it, and then take charge when he had to. So there it is for me. I'm going with Ankalaev again.
I think they're both going to stand there and they're both going to go to war. Now, what I do think is going to be different is I think Alex Pereira has rested. I think Alex Pereira has really put a lot of time in this camp because Alex Pereira loves being champion, just like we all do. And Alex Pereira is going to do everything possible to try to become champion again. But by him doing that, I do think Alex Pereira is going to give openings. He's got to be more aggressive than he was that first fight. And by him being a lot more aggressive by nature, he's going to leave those openings. And I think Magomed Ankalaev is sharp enough striker and sharp enough shooter to where he might be able to land something significant to potentially steal this fight away. So I do think Ankalaev walks away with the belt and still.
I reckon, in my opinion, I think Ankalaev will probably still get the job done. Obviously, Pereira is an extremely imposing character, and his striking is very good. He has been working on his grappling. I mean, Ankalaev wasn't able to get him down in that fight, but even just showing those looks and the southpaw stance and he's quite tricky with it, and he was able to neutralize a lot of Pereira's striking. So, I mean, obviously I understand Pereira's going to be working on his game also, but Ankalaev just seems to be on a tear right now, and I just believe that he's going to get the job done again.
Yeah, it's a good fight. I mean, I think that's what we thought was going to happen. I think there's been some negotiation problems leading up to this, but it's a good fight. I think it's the rightful fight. I think Pereira did enough as champion. He did enough favors for the UFC. Maybe he laid an egg in their last fight. And he was super busy. He was crazy active. And it seems like that's what they're kind of laying their hat on, that he was just overactive, overtrained, had no breaks. And now that this time will be different. I don't know that that's true. Maybe it's the same result, but I think he deserves it. I think he deserves a rematch for sure. So I like that fight.
Absolutely.
Ankalaev's hard to beat, though. God damn, that guy's hard to beat. Especially without a strong wrestling game.
I think it's much less likely that Ankalaev goes into this rematch and still doesn't get any takedowns than Pereira going into this rematch and stuffing all of the takedowns again. He stuffed all of the takedowns before, and I guess he focused so much on doing so that he did leave openings on the feet. Now, this was a very close fight, I understand. But Alex Pereira on the back foot, Little different. When he low kicks off of the lead leg on the back foot while he's circling, it doesn't have the same snap as when he's low kicking off the rear leg. It doesn't have the same snap as when he's low kicking off the rear leg, and he's the one who's able to push forward like he did against Yuri Prohaska. And when he's worried about takedowns, he seems to lose a bit of pop in his shots as well. In a very close fight, extremely close fight, adjustments can be made by Pereira, but Ankalaev can chin him as well. So it's going to be a worrying one. It's going to be I don't know who to pick here again. I'm going to have to go with Ankalaev because of how he performed the first time. Pick here again. I'm going to have to go with Ankalaev because of how he performed the first time. I think if you can do it once, you can do it again, typically.
Man, right now, and in the first fight, it was the same thing. How good will be Alex Pereira?
Right.
Because in first fight, he didn't attack too much. He was he kept himself a little bit back. So I think even in his best shape, he will win for sure. But let's see. Ankalaev did a great work with the catching hands up and down, changing levels. Yeah, he did a great work with Alex. Yeah.
No, he's got to go forward. He's got to go forward and be aggressive. I think that because of Magomed's wrestling, even though he's not a Dagestani powerhouse wrestler, he does have it in his back pocket. I think that caused him to hesitate.
Freeze up. Yeah.
And that allowed Magomed to do his thing. And Magomed's dangerous on the feet as it is. So it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one, you know? And critics out there would say the first time that Pereira fought someone his size, that he encountered problems.